честь. Нам випала честь запросити дослідника, який займається питаннями ризик-менеджменту. І лекція у нас буде англійською мовою, тому ми і покращимо не тільки знання в ризик-менеджменті, але і знання нашої англійської мови. І це Іллінойський університет, і якщо нам би було цікаво, звичайно, щоб пан Андрій більше розповів, яка дослідницька робота проводиться в Іллінойському університеті. Дякую.
Дякую. So, thank you very much for invitation. I am glad to present my lecture, which includes, from one side, is some general overview about this topic, ESG-focused finance, which is very active for Ukraine, especially after our victory, when we will renovate our economy. And from other side, this is some interesting research presentation, interesting research facts about this sphere. I am research fellow in University of Illinois in United States, and I'm specialized for this segment analysis, environment, social, governance, finance. This is focused of finance, because ESG, this is a little bit wide sphere and include different things. And in this context, I provide my research at the Illinois University with my colleagues, and it is very many interesting application can be considered for widening our scope to finance. So I want to present my lecture. Do you see my screen presentation? Ви бачите от мою презентацію на екрані?
Yes.
Okay. So my lecture is devoted to one of the crucial world trend in modern investment in finance frameworks. This is really crucial trends which encompass very many different segments of finance, and this trend implementing ESG criteria into the finance decision making. So the paradigm which I want to present arises from the risk management, financial risk management changes, as you can see at my screen, from the classical portfolio management theory, correspondence, risk and return. This is a Markowitz approach, which was raised from the 1950s to the new paradigm, new logic. This is three components: risk, return, and we add ESG score if we consider development our model in the some quantitative form. So my lecture structured by the following way. First of all, I want to present how it's developing now, and this is introduction component. Then I want to explain very clear why companies consider ESG. This question is very important because in Ukrainian, in our market, when before the war was analyzing by Pricewaterhouse, by Deloitte, what does it mean ESG? There's some shift in their understanding what does it mean. And I want to point for this at the first starting of our lecture. The next which I want to discuss, this is explanation what does it mean ESG criteria for more formalized what does it mean and how we can use this. My lecture will include different case studies, and these case studies demonstrate in practical, in real figures, some explanation of this theory, some explanation of the ESG-focused finance. One of these risks, which is business development risk, this is EV case, EV, these briefly electric vehicles. This is also very interesting case, and Russian aggression to the Ukraine also distort of this market because China start catch Russian market, and this also impact for the world market, whole financial market, including in this segment. So next, it will be credit market management and ESG. I will try to explain three components: credit, bonds, and stocks, how they can be used for attracting money for ESG, and how this transforming into the business development. And very nice example in Ukraine, this is example of a short bank which start in this year, the summer of this year, ESG crediting, loan granting for the micro and small businesses, and from the other side, he provide implementing these standards in everyday work. So it will be a short bank. The second case, it's very interesting because maybe this is start of this logic in Ukraine. Then I present bonds types. You can see this is the GSSS bonds. This is special names of bonds which are green, social, sustainable, and sustainable linked bonds. So this is the abbreviation of this. Next, it will be considered stock market, risk management, and ESG. Stock markets, when we consider circulation money through the stocks and how its impact for risk management and how it's transforming into the new logic. And after that, also it will be some cases. It's very interesting cases because one case is negative, which concern with so-called greenwashing. This is an Italian concern, Italian company Eni. And next, it's very interesting case for ESG, nice development, which is Philip Morris. Philip Morris, you know this company because in each supermarket you can see the shelves, these cigarettes. And after that, I describe how it's important to the Ukrainian development after process of war, when we will renovate our economy. So let's start by this logic. First of all, logic about what today is the trend of ESG assets and ESG logic. This is global, huge, and growing rapidly trend, and at the end of the last year, it was approximately $41 trillion, which its growth, you can see that this is growth essentially, and this growth was from the approximately 20 trillion in 2016. It was now it's approximately twicely developed of this, twicely developed of this segment. Here you can see one of the part of this segment which concern to the bonds. Bonds as one of the instrument which we consider, and this according to Bloomberg, you can see exponential growth for these ESG-focused bonds. Here the green bonds, this green color, you can see at the bottom level, and this is most important part of these bonds now. Then it's social oriented sustainability, which is focused for sustainability and sustainability linked bond. Of course, our consideration will be focused more for the financial logic of this, financial interpretation of this, and how it operates from the financial point of view, and of course from the risk which concern in this case. So first of all, I want to describe why company consider ESG, because when we consider this first time, sometimes it's misleading, sometimes logic that this is a maybe charity, maybe donation. No, this is a business case. What does it mean? ESG strategy. This is organizational approach when companies incorporate and add their business three large blocks, three large modules. First module is environmental component, then social component, and governance component. And strategy to implement these components focus for more sustainable development in the strategic long-term point of view. Let us consider this in more detail. Here, 5 main benefits business as an ESG strategy, and we will focus for 2, which I colored by red color. This is more finance oriented. Okay, first of all, benefits from this competitive advantage. Companies that are committed to improving working conditions, promoting diversity, giving back to community, and so gain a competitive advantage and strengthening their brand. Next, you can see colored, attract investors and lenders. One of the basic logic from the economic point of view, from the financial point of view, that investors and lenders want to propose, so this is a money in different form, in the financial instruments form, for the company, for the project, for the sphere, which is ESG implemented. So you can remember classical microeconomic correspondence, which may be the base, this economic law correspondence between demand and supply. So investors in the great part want to invest into the companies, into the financial instruments such as bonds, such as loans, such as stocks, which demonstrate some ESG scoring level. So this is from a logic of microeconomics, demand from the investors. We want to invest into such level. So proposition projects, proposition development, which involves these standards, permit to attract money by more simply way. Improves financial performance. Yes, this is a set benefits from the company which organizes. Small efforts towards sustainability can improve business bottom line and return for investments. And next, for also red colored because I focus also for that, because these ESG frameworks, they attract customers which want to invest or use some service of companies which oriented for these ESG components. After that, this focus for these attracts customers and use customers loyalty. And so it's background for following business. And of course, 5, this is sustainable company operation. Now we have some questions. No? So, sustainable company operations. This is companies that are correctly integrate these principles in their business can have opportunities to saving and enjoy lower energy consumption, reduce resource wasting, and overall reduction in operating costs. So, this is my explanation, and I want to focus on this, that ESG, this is a not charity, not some donations and so on. This is business case when customers want to operate with company which is use these principles, and from the financial point of view, it's necessary to understand that investors demand that you should operate with this, and if you operate with this, it will be simply to attract money from investors. So, next question. What does it mean, this criterion? What does it mean, these principles? What does it mean, these principles? You can see in my screen, and I won't describe this more detail, because in Ukraine, it's interesting that this is today at the first stages of this development, a little bit fuzzy. What does it mean, ESG? As example, yesterday was conference, and Shatbank presents their products for small business in this context. And when I asked him, have you formalized what does it mean, ESG? Yes, they provide loans, ESG oriented, but not concrete, formalized today in Ukraine. What does it mean? Of course, this fuzzy a little bit destroys this logic, because one really realized such project, but another can explain that this is really ESG project, but it's not that, and bank should analyze yes or not from this point of view. Second situation, named as a greenwashing. This is a greenwashing term. So, what does it mean, E? E, this is the first literature from environment. Environmental is not ecological. Environmental, this is biodiversity. Ecological, this is our skills, our running to develop this biodiversity in our benefits. So environment is more widely as an ecological. Sometimes it's proposed this is an ecological term, but this is environment. First, great background. This is regulation in this form, because climate change and all over the world using regulators to reduce these CO2 gases, and there are a lot of different regulations for focus for this. One of these focus, I will explain how it's work for electric vehicles. Next, this is biodiversity and carbon footprint. Waste management, how it's operate with our waste in the correct form. Then it's water scarcity, this is land use, and you can see this is one of the great problem in Ukraine, because 20% of our lands after the void will be necessary to clean from this war снаряди, міни, які там є. So this is, you can see in Ukrainian, this is some specific environmental problem after the war in this context. So, and this is air and water pollution. Well, this is environmental. What does it mean social? Social, this is focus for human rights. Human rights include, by the briefly say, is three components. Diversity. What does it mean, diversity? Diversity is that all different segments of our society should be included, should be present into the company, should be present into the different segments of business and so on. Diversity, equity. Equity, this is a name as a equal right for different representatives from these spheres. And inclusion. What does it mean, term inclusion? Inclusion, this is a presentation, not in formal logic. What does it mean as formal logic? Well, we want to some invalid to our company by formal logic, only by the documents. When it will be reporting, we will do this, we will show this. But at the component of inclusion, it should be really involved. Well, it includes human rights, which I said, this is labor standards, and this is community relations and employer health and safety. Well, governance. What does it mean, governance? Governance includes, first of all, board independence, board diversity, and corruption or bribery prohibited. So after that, it should be presented by transparency, all these components by the transparency. Fastest example governance the problems is great difference between the average salary in this company and the benefits and profits of the high management. It's maybe 10 times, it's maybe 20 times difference, and so on. This is one of the principles. And our focus for today's lecture, it will be devoted to this scheme. This scheme when financial institutions, it may be bank, it may be mutual funds, it may be insurance company, because insurance company combine together very many money and they invest into these bonds, into these stocks, and of course non-government pension funds, which is a special institution abroad and also in Ukraine. It's also present, but it is not so in focus our market. This is a financial institution which want to invest to companies which ESG focused by three elements, which I will consider today. First element is loans, second this is the bonds, and third this is the stocks. So this is let's go by this way running for this, and we consider risk management. I want to present a couple of words. What does it mean, risk management, by the points? First of all, this is identification risk and risk analysis. And this is a risk identification and the form of values, quantitative, and risk decision. And what is the basic risk of financing the ESG-focused company risk? The first risk is business development risk, and I explain this business development risk on the electric vehicle. What is the logic for this? The basic logic of this is that it have some innovation risk, some innovation problem of risk. When you use some new technology, some new approach, it's necessary to looking for 1, 2, 3 years ahead. Why? Because when we consider innovation problem, it's maybe some arising some new components, some new components. Why it's important? It's important that bank should be analyzed more deeply the investment logic when it's investing to the loans, provide loan granting to the some borrower. I want to demonstrate this at the case of electric vehicles, and it's demonstrate this how it's work at the components all over the world, and want to demonstrate this. Now I open another demonstration, and we will analyze this. So, looking for this is development of market of electric vehicles. These electric vehicles demonstrate growth, essential growth. This is typical ESG logic, electric vehicles. This is not classical carbon footprint. All over the world, this is nice because this is electric vehicle, and investors like to invest this direction. Companies which produce this, they attract money because this is typical ESG project. But this market not at the money, but at the units of vehicles which produce have a great shift. This great shift by the China production of these automobiles, electric vehicles. And you can see that China dominated in this market, approximately 60% market catch at the world by Chinese. Moreover, China run ahead through such very known countries of automobile production, such as Japan and Germany. I will describe this. And so American market only 10% approximately of this market. Only 10% of this market. And how its market dynamic push for the financial logic, for the financial understand. This is EV production in United States units. This is not money. In money, America dominated because they cars more than two or three times or more money generating this classical simple Chinese car. But when we consider units, the problem arises following. Here is the producing of units in United States. As example, in the second quarter of this year, it will be approximately 300,000 of this. But each electric vehicle use approximately 70 kilograms of lithium. So from the economic point of view, from microeconomic, demand to lithium grows essentially at the world, and leader of this Chinese market. After that, for American market, this is implementing external risk factor, which is correspond to growth of lithium price. Looking how it's likes black color line, this is price for lithium carbonate. And when market grows up, it's more costly, more money, because lithium grows. And this is one of the problems for the Tesla, for the ideas of Elon Musk. Why? Because Elon Musk forecast that in the 2025, this is a couple of years, it will be equal price between the classical cars and equal equity for the electric vehicles, because it's improving some technology in business cycle and so on. But this price for lithium grows essentially lead to the more costly these e-vehicles, and it destroy his plans to sales boom, because when it will be equal price, it will be boom for sales of electric vehicles. So this is a demonstration for investment risk. When you want to invest as a financier, some project of company, it's maybe loan granting, it's maybe to buying bonds or to buying some IPO sales, and this maybe include investment risk. By the way, I want to demonstrate also in this example that Chinese cars very expanded in Russian market, and this also demonstrate some business effect, because very many companies from the Western world withdraw their production from Russia, such as Volkswagen, Ford, Mercedes, and so on. But in this case, China want to catch this market. And if you consider that these figures demonstrate that Chinese not thinking about any sanctions about this. They thinking about only profits from this moving to this market, Russian market, which down moving after when Western companies withdraw this money. Yeah, this is also demonstration why some countries do not thinking about the peace, they thinking only about business. And you can see how it's increased number of cars which sold by the China. Black colored, this is Japan. Red color Germany, and this is China. After that, the China want to catch this market, Russian market. It's go to the leader in this situation. Well, it's not good from our point of view, because we have the war, but this country use as a business opportunities realization. Well, let's continue our consideration in this logic. First, I want to demonstrate logic about credit risk management and ESG. Looking for the screen, there are three basic elements. Bank, central element, which attract, first of all, depositors and form deposit portfolio, which then transfer into the credits. And second, this is a client, so bank, which is not depositors, but this is a clients, and they generate money for this. There are two directions in this sphere. First, ESG of bank as an entity. This is as a financial institution. This attracts clients, first of all. Second, ESG of credit portfolio. This attracts depositors which thinking about I delegate money to the bank and this bank create credit portfolio. What is this? What is the structure of this portfolio? What credit they provide? If this provided a part of this portfolio to the ESG credit, this demonstrate that depositors attracted which worried about this. Also, this is very nice demonstrated by the one of the our state bank, which is the Ashad Bank, and Ashad Bank demonstrate all these components, and I want to demonstrate this at the this sphere. First, let us consider with investing into the credit portfolio by Ashad Bank. Looking for this explanation, looking for this example, because this example very interesting, from this year here presentation. Now I open in this. They organize project with the Sparkassen from the Germany, and they in this year try to implement these ESG components into the business of into the credit business. They elaborate or implement, you can see this implement ESG standards in the current business for loan granting of micro and small businesses. And this is together project with Sparkasse to organize this creation part of portfolio, a part of credit portfolio of Ashad Bank to the focus of ESG. So this is one case. This is one part of this logic which is present in this and these components which you see in my screen now. This is a correspondence between Ashad Bank and credit. So this is a ESG focus finance at the credit segment. And of course, it is necessary to analyze risk after this. Next, I want to explain a right side of this. This is a component which used by Ashad Bank also. Looking for this my next presentation, how it's Ashad Bank provide this side. This is a good case for analysis. So here ESG directly for not for credit part of bank, not for credit portfolio, but for the analyzing how it's better to realize social component and especially included. This is a new project. You can see this a couple of days ago publishing, and they provide some special social components to the bank for the people with some health problem and so on. Well, you can see that you can see this in Ukraine. It's starting for some new logic in finance. Well, what is the risk? Our considerations, this is risk-focused finance. Risk-focused finance. Here, explanation of this in my diagramming screen. What does it mean, ESG loan? In many countries, this is formalization. So, this is ESG loan if first, second, So 10, 12. This logic suppose fixed parameters or ESG, so-called ESG score. ESG score implement as a estimation by figures, and it's very nice demonstrated the Czech Republic. Czech Republic realized system of ESG score for loans, and if it's high score, it very nice for considering, very nice to considering as a loan granting in this sphere. Well, next question, which is very important, does PD, probability of default, is different for ESG loans? For this case, it is necessary to create database and to organize comparative risk analysis. It is necessary to use classical loans and ESG-focused loans. Typically, solution can be done by two cases. First, government register for loans, and they marked or scored for some loans as a ESG focus, and then for classical loans. So in Ukraine, we have a very good database, which is central bank register, credit register. And it is possible to use this as a existing database, which is possible to expand the data mining for this. Another approach when this function realizing through private companies, as example, special credit bureaus and so on. There's also some solution for this. When we use such data, private companies, it will be focused for providing essential information, providing essential background, say, interest rate for credits, as you know, included premium for credit risk. So it was part of my consideration for credit risk, and let us consider for the risk management of active in Europe, because Europe stimulate this. There are some difference between America and European Union focus that in European Union, this is regulators stimulate by different ways to use these approaches. So let us consider basic types briefly. What does it mean? This ESG focus bonds, ESG focus bonds, which is named another way, such as green bonds. So you can see this is green bonds principles, and these principles may be a little bit different types of this segment segment. Maybe I want to present summarize of these principles, and you can see that 4 types of ESG focus bonds. First, this is green bonds, which attracting money for investment project which is green oriented. Second, social bonds. This is attracting money for some realizing some project, social project. Typically, this may be focus for the municipal bonds, as example. Kyiv can attract money for realizing some problems, so for realizing some project with waste management. Because green bonds, it's more typically to use some new production at the sphere of environmental or agricultural sphere. Social bonds typically used by municipality and then used for optimization for better realization different problems in the some community, or some cities. Next, this is sustainability bonds. Sustainability bonds is more focus for development in more general. Well, looking for these three elements, not for four. These three elements attract money by their focus for targetedly using this. If you attract money green, it may be focused exactly for some this investment project, for some this green project. But if you will use this money by the other way, this is a risk. When you attract money for the green and then use for classical business, it's risk that name as a greenwashing. And all these three components suppose that is necessary to reporting, and this reporting should be adequate for using this attracted money. The other investment propositions, this is sustainability linked bonds. Sustainability linked, the word link name that you can attract money classically and put this money into your large pot for this. But if you will achieve some sustainability indicators, it will be indicators that you working in this sphere, and for the next attracting money, you have some reputation. So this is a different logic for using these bonds. These bonds use for attracting money by all components, by corporation, by municipality, and by governance. But of course, it's more focused more for company and for municipalities. Well, this is the second case of financial instruments, and next I want to demonstrate how it's realizing at the segment of stocks. This is a set instrument. First it's loans, second bonds, and this is a stocks. Well, this is a problem of risk analysis because how do you work as investors about problem to estimate? Does it company focus for ESG and not, or not focus? There are two cases. One case, you can analyze this company deeply. So you can analyze different indicators, and it's necessary to analyze disclosure and transparency focus, which is briefly named as T&D. But for this case, you should have a great analytics. When you invest into the different companies, they should analyze reporting for one company, another company, and it should be knowledge. But second case, you can delegate this estimation for some companies which is specializing for this. This is named as a ESG score companies. Here you can see a couple of companies which put scores, ESG scores, for companies when you consider stock market. This is S&P Global, Refinity, Sustainalytics, and some others. What they propose? They propose that it is not necessary to thinking about ESG component when you analyze investing, thinking only about money, about this. We will estimate this ESG score, and then we put this number, and you should decide, does it good, does it bad from this point of view, because we provide scoring based on the more than 100 criteria methodology. Today, more than 16,000 companies through the world receive such score, and investors operate with this. Here example as a Pfizer Incorporation, which you will know after the vaccination against COVID-19. Here the score 35, but it's better for 51. It's lower on the social component. Well, this is next Refinity about Pfizer. You can see that this is a little bit different because this demonstrates more focus of this company to the environment, but for the governance from this estimation, it's lower. It's lower component of the management, of the shareholders, and so on. And here, presentation of the largest 50 companies in European Union. This is in Eurozone. This index stocks 50, and you can see that all companies from this segment, estimation by this ESG score, and investors looking for this as investor. Investors thinking first, I want to invest into the company which have a good example of ESG providing for finance, where the ESG score high, ESG risk lower. So I implement it. Well, if it's example, consider Adidas, it's a high level, Adidas a high level of this. But if you consider Airbus is very low in this. So for this company, ESG risk high. For this company, ESG risk low. And this is another example, BNP Paribas, which present also in Ukraine. This is a high level of ESG score, low risk. But if you consider this example, L'Oreal, this is a low ESG score. Well, this picture provides a focus that risk-return correspondence added by the third component, which is the ESG score. This is transforming level of risk return for the three levels. Well, I want to demonstrate one problems with this risk decision, risk logic when you operate with these three components structure of decision making under risk. We want to maximize ESG score. Why? Economic logic. So investors want to invest into this sphere. When we create our investment portfolio, which is high ESG score, it will be suitable to attract money from investors. Very nice. Risk. What does it mean, classical risk? Classical risk is a volatility. And we want to minimize volatility. Return, of course, we want to maximize return. But the problems following. When we focus for high ESG score companies, we will reduce our range of companies. And this contradiction to diversification, Well, here's a calculation from our research. If you use this index, and we will focus only for very nice 5 companies with very high ESG level, it will be here 5 companies, but it will be high risk because this level of diversification looking for this will be lower. So diversification low, ESG high. When we will expand our portfolio widely, it will be lower level of ESG. And from other side, Markowitz logic that it will be diversification provide lower risk. And this is one of the problem when we consider this, this risk from the market side. And I wanted this our consideration provide some comments how it's possible to use for Ukraine. For Ukraine, this is important for Ukraine. First of all, in Ukraine, two component of this. First component, this is component of regulators. Both regulators, as a national bank, as a commission of securities, working in this direction, and National Bank of Ukraine has a large project for sustainability finance and implementing in the ESG logic for the banking system. Before the war, these regulators approved some additional standards. As example, Security Commission for Security Market also some addition to the Codex of Behavior, which focus for using of this ESG logic into the market interaction. About second component, investor. Here one problem, because Pricewaterhouse in 2021 before the war analyzing attitude to ESG, and very many our managers consider this as some charity or some donation. This is nice. If some company builds some plant and build 3 schools or 3, this example, playground, this is nice. This is a high ESG, but this is another thinking. This is thinking from the, well, I am building some plant and I, as additional invest into the 3 playground for the children. Logic if for ESG another investors want to focus for this ESG, and when you want to attract money more simply and maybe for lower the price, it is logically to it's maybe not correspond in great extent to the today's standards. In this case, foreign investors consider this was an old, very old plant without technologies. It is a pity, but this is destroyed by the war. The proposition in this case, let us renovate this from the context of new technology, to build new technology. Well, this is a basic case from this. And preparation of investment projects is including this is a issue of financial instrument such green bonds, then clear procedures of transparency and disclosure, and it's also maybe risk for this anti-greenwashing procedures. Anti-greenwashing procedures. What is it? Anti-greenwashing procedures. This will be my last point of view for today's lecture, and I want to indicate from one side risk, how it's operate non-correctly with this money, and from the other side I want to demonstrate one very interesting example, and it will be today maybe finalization for ideas which I propose for you today. First, what does it mean greenwashing? This is BS. This when you attract money for green, but you use only this as a marketing trick. And here's any case, any largest oil production in Italy, and a couple of years ago they proposed following marketing trick by the ESG idea. They proposed, well, we elaborated green diesel. This green diesel we produced by using oil, some oil, olive oil. They put into the crude classical oil some olive oil, and explain for people that it will be nice from the point of view of environmental, but it was absolutely marketing trick. Government of Italy to analyze deeply, does it some component for environmental? The answer was no. This is only marketing trick. For what reason Eni provide this marketing trick? For higher price. The price of this green diesel was higher, and explanation. When you want to support green in Italy, it will be you can buy this green diesel more price, this higher price. And it was penalties and fine for 5 million euro for this non-correct behavior. This is a marketing behavior. And last, this case which I want to demonstrate as example, this is Philip Morris company. This Philip Morris company you can see in any supermarket. As I said, if you smoking, you will buy this, and maybe smoke. It's also you can see this company, Philip Morris International, focus for development, sustainable development by implementing smoke-free products. Smoke-free products. From one side, this is a smoke products, and from the other side, smoke-free products. They elaborated different things without impact for health. You can see this in the screen. This is our smoke products they propose. This is our business. This is part of their business. And it is interesting that from the economic point of view, from one side, they focus that for the next year, it will be equal profit from the smoke-free and classical smoke non-free products. But it is interesting from economic point of view that their business grows in both segments, for this and from the smoke-free products and for the classical. So this is an example how it's possible to implement this for the sustainability, for sustainable business. So it was my presentation and explanation how it's possible to Ukraine. Thank you for your attention, and I will be glad to answer for the question if you have some questions.
Thank you very much for the interesting lecture and interesting cases. I'm sure that they will be useful for our students in the future. Можливо, щось неправильно сказала, але дуже дякуємо за лекцію. Можливо, питання, будь ласка, якісь виникли в студентів, задавайте. Або соромляться, або питань немає. Так. Дуже дякуємо вам, пане Андрію, за вашу лекцію. З вашого дозволу, ми робили відеозапис, і якщо ви дозволите, ми розмістимо на нашому YouTube-каналі гостьову лекцію.
Так.
Дуже дякую.
Мені, якщо можна, потім також посилання дайте.
Обов'язково, так, надішлемо.
Обов'язково надішлемо посилання, дякуємо. І, як вже сказала у нас Наталія Сергіївна, думаємо, що це наші зустрічі стануть такими плановими, і ви нашим будете завжди лектором, які будуть цікаві теми давати нашим здобувачам, причому з дуже цікавими кейсами, насправді. Так, прошу, питання, questions?
Добрий день, вибачте, що запізнився трохи з питанням. Дякую за цікаву лекцію. Я хочу спитати з приводу оцінки компанії, рейтингування їх за ESG. І ми показували, що зазвичай рейтингують по 3 складових, тобто по 3 напрямках, в яких ESG вони розвивають. А чи є випадки, коли компанія, наприклад, сконцентрується на одному, наприклад, на environment, чи ще на якомусь напрямку, а інші не розвиває або розвиває дуже мало? І я так розумію, що тоді їхня оцінка загальна виходить маленька, тому що якщо два не розвивається, чи для таких компаній є якісь інші оцінки, коли вони суто по одному напрямку йдуть?
Так, це дуже гарне запитання, Дмитро, тому що воно стосується, як правильно оцінювати. Оці 3 є складовими, насправді вони є, так би мовити, вершиною ієрархії, бо в кожному цьому компоненті далі йдуть по 10 компонент або там навіть більше. Дійсно, є такі перекоси, що одних компаній, наприклад, високий рівень І, а дуже низький рівень С. Звичайно, це впливає на всі кроки. По-перше, крок, коли оцінка, вона буде сумарно менша, потім вона буде скошена, і інвестори на це дивляться, бо, умовно кажучи, вони займаються фінансуванням проєктів, і ця компанія пропонує, що інвестмент в environment, в агросектор і так далі дуже гарні, але при цьому вони дають хабарі, і це неодноразово виникає. Тобто хабарі – це в третій цій компоненті. Звичайно, це впливає на оцінку. Тому тут треба розуміти так, що таки в трьохвимірному цьому просторі кожен ризик породжує, і інвестор має дивитися на ці всі 3 компоненти. Так.
Розумію, дякую.
Можна також питання задати?
Так, будь ласка.
Ну, я не знаю, чи це питання до вас, але, можливо, зможете поділитися інформацією. З приводу зелених бондів, чи є реальні приклади в Україні, коли український бізнес залучав фінансування саме через випущення зелених бондів? Я знаю, що, ну, звичайно, єврооблігації багато хто випускав, а от щодо саме зелених бондів. Так, і друге питання, я вже підзабув, яке я хотів спитати, зараз згадаю, доповню потім. Дякую.
Дякую за запитання. Зараз у мене під рукою нема такого прикладу, хто в Україні випускав ці облігації. Тут проблема основна в тому, що у нас не формалізовано, що таке зелена облігація. Тому що в Європі воно дуже сильно регулюється, воно зарегульовано, вона має бути відповідно таким принципом. І це дуже впливає, так як зеленими кредитами. Банк каже, ми не даємо зелені кредити. Добре, а чим відрізняється цей кредит від того кредиту? Ну, тому що ми його так ідентифікували. Немає такої ідентифікації чіткої в Україні зараз. Вчора була якраз конференція, також там Ощадбанк презентував подібні речі. Єдине, що в кредитному реєстрі, в нашому українському, там відмічається, що це в межах 5-9 тієї. Ну, тому відповідь на наше запитання у нас це ще тільки на початку розвитку, тому що немає ідентифікації, що, власне, зелена облігація. Бо тут дві різниці. Сказав для маркетингу, що це зелена облігація, або ти відповідаєш певним умовам законодавства, де це прописано, і тоді ти більш, так би мовити, responsible.
Можна я доповню? У мене є, дивіться, я знаю, що один великий випадок був зелених бондів. Це була державна Укренерго. Вони в 2021 році випустили зелені бонди, але це була така, як тобі можна сказати, вони то були зелені, але це умовно була ідея, оскільки вони були випущені для погашення заборгованості перед тими, хто виробниками відновленої енергії через високий зелений тариф, в них була велика заборгованість, і от щоб її погасити перед виробниками, вони випустили ці євробонди зелені, які всі викупив ЄБРР на 75 мільйонів доларів, і таким чином ЄБРР буквально профінансував Укренерго, щоб вони погасили заборгованість через інструмент зелених євробондів.
Ну,
Так, це гарний приклад, да.
Це те, про що казав Андрій, коли бонди називаються зеленими, а насправді використовуються там за іншим призначенням. І друге питання, яке я хотів спитати, це таке ж більше організаційне, можливо, це не зовсім по вашому профілю, але, можливо, прокоментуєте. Я знаю, що український бізнес, коли він намагається розмістити єврооблігації, він вимушений створювати спеціальні компанії десь в Європі, там в Нідерландах, на Кіпрі, в Великобританії, які будуть емітентом цих єврооблігацій. Тому що, наскільки я знаю, раніше, принаймні, українське законодавство не дозволяло українським емітентам самим бути емітентом єврооблігацій на іноземній фондовій біржі. Я не знаю, чи слідкуєте ви за розвитком українського законодавства, чи коли настане той момент, коли це необхідне створювання цих штучних компаній, вона піде у минуле, і коли вже реальні компанії вони можуть самі там український бізнес випускати єврооблігації, які торгувались на іноземних площадках.
Також дуже цікаво, воно ваше запитання, воно також містить і економічну компоненту, і таку, і маркетингову, економічну. Чому, якщо брати нормально, це використовувати якусь структуру за кордону. Тут є також плюси і мінуси. Плюси в тому, що це простіше іноземним інвесторам, ця компанія одну її оцінили і так далі. Коли це українська, то тут треба більше transparency and disclosure, як я казав, і відповідно. Але дійсно у нас це друга компонента, це використовується часто для інших цілей. Я протягом війни не можу сказати, що які зміни відбулися, просто, можливо, я і не слідкував стосовно цього, але, звичайно, це питання треба після війни, його треба врегулювати.
Ну,
Тому-
дякую. Я просто питаю про це з податкової точки зору, тому що я багато чув про те, коли податкова служба, ну, зазвичай такі компанії, які випускали облігації, вони залучали кошти на іноземну свою компанію, яка потім передавала займи в Україну, але потім податківці, коли досліджували всю структуру бізнесу, вони казали, ага, ви там сплачуєте відсотки десь там на пов'язану компанію на Кіпрі, а там нема персоналу, а там нема офісу, а це, мабуть, там не бонди, а це там ухилення від оподаткування, вивод денег, і тому, це, з одного боку, це зручніше для інвесторів, щоб надати ці займи, випустити цінні папери, але потім, коли зустрічаєшся з українськими реаліями, то це може створювати додаткові податкові ризики. Але дякую.
Так, згоден. В даному випадку я доповню, що от ви з податковою розглянули, я більше такий, знаєте, на маркетинг, більше такий фокус дослідження, коли greenwashing. Таких прикладів з greenwashing у світі дуже багато. Була така, я цей приклад наводжу, що тут треба це питання, як ви, чи ухилення від податків, а друге, це просто маркетингом взяти гроші для якихось своїх інших справ, як в попередньому випадку. Тому тут треба цим займатися дійсно. А з прикладами дуже багато у світі цих прикладів. Дивіться, був приклад, там кава Nestlé, ви всі знаєте каву Nestlé, і така гарна компанія. Потім її звинувачують, що в 2020 році, що вона купувала каву на світових ринках у компаній, які використовують дитячу працю там в Африці. Звідти тут і така виникла, так би мовити, двозначна проблема. Вони кажуть, ми купували на світових ринках, ми ж не знаємо, використовують вони цю працю чи ні, тому що це ринок, ми купували ринок. А виявляється, що тих, кого вони купували, ті використовують дітей, що збирають цікаві зерна просто за їжу, розумієте? Тут знов таки палка о двох кінцях. Хто тут правий? Ті кажуть, це ж ринок, я тут не до чого. Да, будь ласка. Андрій, будь ласка.
Так, в мене є теж питання коротке, але воно скоріш прикладне. Судячи з вашої презентації щодо індексу ESG та ризиковості, що інвестори це оцінюють, чи ви аналізували доходність по цим облігаціям з тими показниками, індексами, на які має звертати увагу інвестор? Тобто, чи є якийсь зв'язок доходності цих облігацій від цих компаній з цим індексом? Дякую.
Так, дякую за питання. Це дуже велике такі питання. Як пов'язаний ESG з двома параметрами? Те, що ви запитуєте доходністю, та те, що ви запитуєте те, що ви додатково ще з ризиком. Відповідь, якщо так загальна по ринку, така. ESG-індекс, він від'ємно корелює з ризиком звичайним. Тобто, чим ESG-скори більше, тим ризику менше. А з доходністю кореляція, вона близько нуля. Тобто, тут не є залежності в цілому, якщо брати. Таким чином, в цій трійці, про яку я казав, тут дивіться, оці два корелюють, чим краще ESG, тим менше ризика. Оце не корелює з ESG.
Я зрозумів. Дякую. Але варто би, можливо, в цьому напрямку теж провести більш глибоке дослідження.
Так, це один з напрямків, там аналізують дуже різні такі підходи. І один з таких підходів, наприклад, що беруть індекси, наприклад, німецький індекс DAX, там було 30 компаній, зробили ще DAX 40 і називали його ESG DAX. І порівнюють, от, яку доходність він показує. Тобто, якраз ви говорите про питання одне з найбільш таких, ну, яке привертає увагу для досліджень в світі. Бо чи вірно є, що інвестувати в ESG, воно дає більшу доходність, чи воно знижує тільки ризик? Так, це питання відкрите, воно активно досліджується.
Дякую, дякую.
Дякуємо. Наші здобувачі-магістри, як завжди, цікавляться актуальними питаннями. І, пане Андрій, ви правильно казали, що нам треба магістри на цю тему,
Ну, так,
коли
так.
ми з вами домовлялися. Так. Тому,
Тут же
якщо
для магістрів ще більше тут от, дискусійний характер, от, розумієте, от, коли на одну точку зору на проблему існують різні точки зору, то це якраз і розвиває такі от.
звичайно, це саме і цікаве. Дякуємо. Не будемо вас затримувати більше. І до
Дякую,
нових
дуже було
зустрічей.
приємно тоді.
Будемо раді знову вас почути, побачити і з новими темами. Гарного дня.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.